Melly Mel, we were having a conversation recently, and I seen that he had made some comments on TMZ because these are his true feelings. So, he and I were in Harlem a few weeks ago, and he was talking about how like rap, street culture, street culture in rap has ruined is ruined rap music, period. Like street culture being incorporated has completely ruined it, and he made a point to say that, these guys talking about he's out of touch, but it's like we didn't talk about murdering and killing and drugging ourselves up and all this kind of crazy stuff. And we weren't going to jail and getting killed like y'all are at a progressive rate, and I mean, of course, anybody who would try to argue against that idea, those thoughts at this point, I would say they're kind of out their mind.
I would say the same
deep
thing.
denial.
But we old. They say we done got old. We out of touch.
I wonder how we got old.
Huh.
It wasn't by accident.
And
sure.
In this society right now, whoever has the money, makes the
Everything they
rules.
say makes sense.
It's almost like, with the streets, if you the shot caller, you make the rules. And right now in this culture, if you got the money, then whatever you say is, I have a saying, whoever got the loudest whistle is who everybody listening to.
Yeah.
And whether they're making sense or not, they could be total idiots, but everybody is running around listening to what they're saying, paying attention to them and will repeat what they said.
I mean, in the time and space that we come up in, bro, that would be called being a sucker.
Exactly.
Yeah, you a sucker. You following a sucker because the sucker is throwing money around, throwing the weight around. You's a sucker.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I always wanted to be around smart motherfuckers.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I don't care how much money you got. If you're a dummy, you still a dummy. That's right. When Johnny Cochran in the OJ case, he put the mask over his head. He said, even if this mask was over OJ's face, it would still be OJ under that mask.
Right.
So with a lot of the stuff that's happening now, when you pull the cover off, you got a sucker up under that cover.
That's right. Cars, money, bling, none of that changes the nature of a thing.
Yeah. You still who you are.
That's right. And the YSL case is probably, man, that case, when it's all said and done, I'm going to do a deep dive dissection of that thing, man, from point to point, bro, because it's the culmination of everything that we've discussed, not just in this conversation, but in the many conversations we've had over the years about the way that these artists are trending, the way that the art itself is trending. It could only result in what we got here now, and this is ridiculous, man. This reportedly got I never heard of this. 1,200 possible jurors. 1,200? What?
Wow.
That doesn't make no sense. These guys are going to be the guys who told, they're going to be on probation for 15 years, but it's not like they're going to change their lives. They're not going to change their thinking, most of them, so they're not going to change their lives. That means they're going to be they're going to be in and out, because they're going to be violating. Crazy.
They're not going to stop drinking. They're not going to stop drinking the syrup, the heroin pills, Molly's and all the other things. You're absolutely correct. And we saw guys, when I was I saw guys on parole for 12 and 13 years, and every 3 or 4 months, they be right back. They get out for a couple months and they come right back. And you're right, a revolving door.
Yeah.
And some of them go out and commit bigger crimes.
Yep. I think at the point at which you stop worrying about the worst case scenario, which is going to prison, at the point you stop worrying about that, at the point in which you start to feel like it don't make a difference whether I'm in or out, then all bets are off. And you're subject to do anything, because like, what's the worst they gonna do? Send me back? I'm just as comfortable in there as I am out here. I get in there, I get busy. I get out here, I get busy. It's the same thing. They got no threat for me. you know, and death is just a relief from that. All right.
Well, they can't care about women.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, you can't care about no woman because you ain't gonna have no woman up in there.
Yeah, that's a whole other conversation. That's another thing going on crazy. So Jadakiss says record labels should be held more accountable for rappers' violent lyrics. Now, at the point at which somebody like Jada says something like that, you know, if he's thinking that, he's a cat, he's from the streets. He's a kid who, you know, grew up running around the streets and, you know, doing what he had to do, you know, to make his way or whatever have you. So he understands that, you know, being in a position where you feel this is a choice you have to make if you want more than what somebody's willing to give you for an hour. So, you know, for him to be saying that, you could just imagine what more conservative people are saying about the culpability of the record labels who are, you know, paying for, financing, and distributing this music, this destructive music. You know, there has to be a strong movement towards holding the record labels accountable. What do you think? You think that ultimately these record labels should be held accountable for the kind of music their artists are putting out?
I mean, me myself, you know, I'm starting my label right now. And I don't want any mindless rap. I don't want no more killing. I don't want nobody selling drugs. I don't want to have nothing to do with it. You know, like I said, I played my part in the early 80s, and I want to distance myself from that. You know, I like, you know, guys with the music like Lil Russell. I don't know if you ever heard Lil Russell, but that's the kind of music that I'm listening to right now.
Out of LA.
Yeah, you know, another artist I just met in the airport the other day named Dope Smoothie, Crazy, you know, the kind of music that he's doing. But these are guys who are thinking, you know, they're putting some creativity into it. You know, now it's just, you know, most of the rap is just, I kill you, I can kill more people than you, I got more guns than you got. The label shouldn't want to have nothing to do with that, you know. I heard an interview one day. I was on Instagram and I was just strolling through, you know, bored, and I saw an interview with this guy, and he's one of the biggest radio station owners in the world. And they asked him, would you play records on your station that was talking about killing cats and dogs? And he said, absolutely not. And then they asked him, they said, well, would you play records on there talking about killing black men? And he said, it's a Cardinal who's saying it.
Oh, wow. Wow. Wow.
Because really the radio station should be held. I mean, if you're going to start holding people accountable, you know, you got to just, then radio station should be held accountable as well.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Instagram for allowing them to brandish weapons online.
Exactly. YouTube as well.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, it's Black lives, basically, who have been lost. So, you know,
right.
Who cares?
That's the question. Who does care? Who are the people who care?
You know, that's what Danilo Blandón said on the witness stand when he testified against me.
What?
He said that when they start selling drugs in the black community and start killing each other, nobody cares.
Blandón said that. Your Connect said that.
Yeah, he said that in court. On the witness stand. Nobody cares.
And he doesn't come from America. He doesn't come from a black community. So he's aware of that because he was able to observe it. He saw it.
Oh, you heard it from DEA? He heard it from his handlers or somebody, you know, somebody put it in his head.
Right. Don't worry about it. They ain't nobody gonna care.
Yeah.
Nobody cares when they do what they do to each other.
Exactly.
So just go ahead.
Exactly.
Get that work to Ricky over there.
The record labels don't care. The radio stations don't care.
Well,
the preachers don't care. The mamas don't care. The daddies don't care until it's their kid.
Right. You're right.